Hello again, everybody. How are you doing? It is October the 1st, still October the 1st, 2024. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Time. I saw about maybe 25 minutes ago, 26 minutes ago, watching live Al Jazeera English, the live feed. They showed this, which is now on their website. These are Iranian missiles. It has been confirmed. The IRGC has confirmed they are theirs. They launched a sortie of 250 towards Tel Aviv.
Extreme caution. These flashes may well be interceptions. Interceptions of these projectiles. 1, 2, possibly 3 of them may or may not have hit their targets.
Now, this is about 8 p.m. local time. In Tel Aviv, as you can see from live feed from Tel Aviv, the Al Jazeera network's live feed. Multiple strikes were recorded in this short video here, 1 minute video, 1 minute and 45-second video. But this was not the beginning of it. I saw them, they were showing Tel Aviv in a live feed. I can't find that video. And they were saying that they had been warned, which that news broke and was breaking all across the country here in the United States and, of course, in Israel. And so they were showing a live feed, but all of a sudden they saw one missile come in, and it looked like something rising up to meet it. But then they saw this, which was a massive wave.
May or may not have hit their targets in Tel Aviv. For an hour now, I beg your pardon, for a year now, we have been asking whether or not this could tilt into something even bigger than it has been. In other words, a direct, full-blown war.
As you can hear, multiple targets are being hit. We don't know what was targeted, and this seems like they're targeting the outskirts of Tel Aviv, hitting around Tel Aviv. I don't see anything hitting. They were showing, the camera has now panned out here. Some of the worst camera work I've seen, but in a situation like this. But it seems to me that either all of the rockets that were targeting Tel Aviv proper, the city of Tel Aviv, downtown Tel Aviv, were intercepted, or they were targeting military posts in the outskirts of Tel Aviv, which is where Mossad headquarters and the IDF's headquarters are located in the outskirts of Tel Aviv, much like ours are, like the Pentagon is in the outskirts of Washington, D.C.
Oh, that's a direct hit. That is a direct hit on Tel Aviv. The flashes in the sky are likely to be interceptions of Iranian missiles, but we did see one that appeared to land in Tel Aviv. So again, to that question that we've been asking for a year, so many of our analysts and commentators saying the situation between Israel and Gaza and then between Israel and Hezbollah carries with it a very big risk of a major regional confrontation.
Okay. I'll let that continue to play through as I talk over it a little bit. As you can see, multiple targets are being hit, and you can hear the explosions in the background. Again, I'm not entirely sure. You see, it looks to me like these are on the outskirts of Tel Aviv, like they might be targeting, I don't know, oil facilities, infrastructure. I don't know what it is. I mean, they could very well be hitting Tel Aviv proper. I'm not sure. But just so you know, Iran has launched a barrage of missiles against the Zionist entity. This is Press TV. Sirens sounded all over the occupied territories as Israeli media reports said Iran has launched hundreds of missiles towards the Zionist entity. Flares and missiles were seen in the Tel Aviv sky, and explosions could be heard in the occupied Al-Quds and in the occupied Al-Quds, sending Zionist settlers fleeing into shelters. So the occupied Al-Quds area. They're saying that it's not just Tel Aviv. They've launched a series of attacks on different targets all across Israel. The Israel Airports Authority said no aircraft will be allowed to take off or arrive at all Israeli airports. Israeli newspaper Haaretz reported direct hits in Negev, Sharon, and other locations from Iran's attack. The Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, IRGC, issued a statement shortly after the missile attack began. It said, in response to the martyrdom of Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh and Hezbollah leader Syed Hassan Nasrallah, the IRGC commander, I'm not even going to pronounce his name, Abbas N, and the IRGC Aerospace Force launched dozens of ballistic missiles targeting key military and intelligence bases in the heart of the occupied territories. So once again, like I said, key military intelligence bases surrounding Tel Aviv would be the headquarters for Mossad and the IDF. The IRGC further said that the attack was in line with the country's right to legitimate self-defense as per the United Nations Charter and in response to the regime's escalating crimes backed by the United States against the people of Lebanon and Gaza. The Zionist regime, they put that in one more time, will face more crushing attacks in case it reacts to Iran's operation, the IRGC added. If you recall, in the direct wake of the assassination of the head of Hamas, Iran said they are going to reserve the right to respond at a later time, a time they chose. They also said that making Israel and the Israelis wait for said response is part of their fucking punishment. Now, I know you should. A while ago, Iran launched a wave of missiles, and they contacted the Americans and the Israelis, and they let them know well ahead of time that this wave of missiles was incoming. So they intercepted almost all of them. The French Air Force, the U.S. Air Force, and of course the Israeli Defense Forces. Their Iron Dome or whatever the hell they use, Patriot missiles and whatever we gave them, they use, and they were able to intercept most of them. But of course, they didn't give them that kind of heads up this time around. What you didn't see were U.S. warplanes and French warplanes intercepting these things well before they got even close to Tel Aviv. And of course, as I pointed out before, they claim, the Israelis and the Americans claim that the original sortie of missiles was just largely symbolic to show that they could do it. And I disagreed. I said they're not going to waste that much ammunition, that many munitions on just some kind of symbolic gesture. This is their gesture. They did that because they wanted to see where the Israeli missile batteries were, where they were located, in order to how they could defend against a missile barrage of that nature. Obviously, clearly, multiple missiles hit something. And as I posited in the past, and in this video, I didn't see them targeting civilian infrastructure. Remember, Israel targeted civilian infrastructure both in the assassination of the Palestinian, the head of Hamas, the political department, political wing, and of course the recent targeting of Nasrallah, Saeed Nasrallah. They targeted civilian infrastructure in order to achieve those quote-unquote goals, those assassination goals. It doesn't appear at this point that that's what Iran did. It doesn't matter if that's how it will be perceived. That's how it will be presented. Of course, the perpetual victim that is fucking Israel will be weeping and gnashing of their teeth and beating of their breasts and rending of the hair and grabbing the fucking clutching of the pearls. And I'm sure Congress is already in the process. They are rushing as fast as they can from their residences in D.C. to get before a camera somewhere in Capitol Hill to swear their undying allegiance to glorious Israel. What does that mean? Will this draw the United States into another war in the Middle East? I am deeply concerned about that. Again, well, I still know a few people who are still involved in the military in the United States. And of course, I know people who have children who are currently serving overseas. This is certainly something that we want no part of, or we should have no part of, all because Benjamin Netanyahu refuses to step down and refuses to recognize the fact that the only path for peace, the only rational, reasonable path to peace, is recognition of Palestine, a Palestinian state, and reciprocating that agreement, the full recognition of the Israeli state by all the Muslim and Islamic nations that have not yet done so. That would be the only rational way to do it. Of course, that's not what they're going to do, because that's not what the Zionists want. And of course, as soon as that were to happen, there would be a vote. The Likud party would be out. Bibi would be then free to stand trial for the crimes he committed long ago. Not to mention the fact that there'll be an investigation into what actually happened on October the 7th, 2023. This is exactly what Bibi wants. Bibi sees these coming in and is excited about this because this means this could drag Israel and the United States and many other countries into a prolonged conflict that will keep that psychopath Benjamin Netanyahu in office 2, 3, 5, 10 more fucking years, and could easily cost thousands of U.S. fucking soldiers' lives. This is despicable that we are going to stand with the genocidal regime, the Zionist regime in fucking Israel. But if this is what has happened now, all Israel has to do is retaliate, and Iran will retaliate worse. And of course, we've already got our fucking 40,000 troops in the area, and then we send in a couple of cruise missiles, and the whole thing kicks off. And Benjamin Netanyahu laughs all the way, literally, to the bank. This is an unfortunate fucking development. According to international law, Iran is well within their fucking rights. As long as they weren't targeting civilians, they are well within their rights to retaliate against an attack on them and an attack in Lebanon on civilian infrastructure by the Israelis. But we will see. I thought I'd get this out there so you could understand. And as I find out more, I'll be posting updates. Thank you for your time.